Ahmaud Aubrey.
Okay.
I want to see what's going on with that. I want to talk to y'all about that and see what y'all feel about that.
Okay.
So now, when we said Ahmaud Aubrey, what exactly were we saying? We want to discuss about the Ahmaud Aubrey and those three folks that killed him.
Well, they were found guilty. Those three individuals were found guilty of murder in some form or another. So the question is, are we closer to justice? I mean, we all wanted to see them found guilty. Are we any closer to justice? Now, remember, they were found guilty by an all-white jury with one African American. Are we closer to justice? And I would like to see what this person says. Stacey, need to go talk to the youth out here. But go ahead, guy. What's up?
I think yes. I think we are closer to justice. The wheels of justice turn, but they turn really slow. So we all know that. The reason I think we're closer to justice is because, not just because they were found guilty, but look at what they were found guilty of. Like, each one of those dudes, for the top count that each one of them faced, each one of them has a minimum mandatory life sentence. Now, the only question for the judge at this point with regard to sentencing is whether or not that life sentence is going to be life without parole, without the possibility of parole, or life, true life. So I think I don't know if this is the first time that three white men have ever been convicted of killing a black man and they're going to get life in jail for it. It might be, I don't know, but I think that's a step in the right direction. I think we got to keep moving in that direction. I think there's justice for Ahmaud Aubrey's family, yes. However, families like Emmett Till, they should have found all of those men guilty of murder and did the same thing. So if you look from back in the 50s, or was that? And it was the 60s, 50s, up until now, and you see the difference. Yeah, justice is moving in our direction. So I think we are moving closer to justice. To answer the question, I think we're very far from where we need to be with regards to justice, but I think we're moving closer to justice.
Nike, did you have something you wanted to add to that? Because I have something I want to add to both of y'all. And so why you think, Nike? So Guy, in other words, you're saying we haven't reached where we need to be, but we're moving in the right direction.
Exactly.
You think? Okay.
I think so.
So you'll take these small steps.
I won't. The only reason why I say that we're listen. I've been a criminal justice major all my life, so I understand the way justice is, and I understand. And I got into the justice game because I want to be a part of moving the criminal justice system from this antiquated system of oppression of African American people to a place where there's equity across the boards. I am not satisfied with this move closer to justice. I will not be satisfied until there is justice. Just like the late Dr. Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Or justice delayed is justice denied. So until we have full justice, equity in justice, equal justice, no, I'm not satisfied. I do like the direction that we're going in, though.
Okay, right. Okay.
I was about to say, so you echoed this at the end, echo my sentiments.
What's that, Nike?
Like, so I do believe that, his family is closer to justice. Are we as a people closer to justice? My answer would be no. Unless you're satisfied with the little crumbs that they, if you're satisfied getting the crumbs that they give you, then that's one thing. But just because one guilty verdict and what should have been an open and shut case anyway is not, it doesn't tell me anything about justice. It doesn't say to me that things are getting better now just because these three white men who killed this man in cold blood, which should have been open and shut because all the evidence pointed to that. But
Nike, let me ask you a question then.
That doesn't scream justice to me.
It screams
justice for their family.
No, but listen to what I agree with what Guy said though, and I brought that up for a minute. I think God know why I said it.
I know what you're doing.
I know you did.
He's lining me up.
I peeped that too.
He dipped out of it.
I peeped game.
I know you did. But Terry, I agree with Guy, and Guy said it. He's not satisfied. No one's saying that we've made it, but we have to. What if they would have been found not guilty? With this case, like you said,
then that would have been even more egregious.
Right. But so in other words, then, and as God said, we don't know when 3 white men were ever found guilty of killing one black man before. And I'm not saying that it never happened, but we don't know when that happened. And let's face it, with this trial here, the system was on the system was on trial. 11
wasn't on trial.
The system was on trial.
Open and shut case.
And it worked the way that it was supposed to, right? Because they should have been found guilty and they were, right?
All right. So if the system is so the system is so good, how come Rittenhouse walked?
No, you didn't answer my question. Don't change the subject. No, you didn't. I asked you, did the verdict happen the way that it was supposed to in this case? You said it should have been open and shut, and they were all found guilty, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we want. And no one said that we've made it. But what I've been always saying is that, as God said, not institutions change slowly. And then now and no one is saying that we've made it and that the system is perfect, but it changes slowly. And we got and to answer your question, we do have to accept these crumbs.
The topic of the question, or the question of the topic, however you want to put it, was, are we closer to justice? And the answer is no, we are not closer to justice after that verdict than we were before that verdict.
So you don't think that verdict made a difference whatsoever?
His family is closer to justice.
So you don't think that verdict made a difference whatsoever?
No.
You saying guilty or not guilty wouldn't have made a difference.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
You
asked me, did it bring black people closer to justice? And the answer is no.
What do you think, guy?
I think we are moving closer to justice. We are, and the proof is in the pudding, because rewind 50 years ago, all of them would have walked. And the thing about it right now, okay, so just last year, or it might have been the year before last, the Supreme Court ruled there were a few states still holding on to the fact that you needed or did not need the entire jury to go one way for a verdict. The Supreme Court it might have been 2 years ago, and they ruled that in those cases that there has to be a unanimous decision amongst jurors. So rewind this, John, 50 years ago, any one of those jurors could have said not guilty and he would have been acquitted and he would have walked. To have that entire jury all agree that all 3 of those men were guilty of murder, every one of them. And that's a black body that they took out, you know what I'm saying? And there were attempts throughout, from the moment that there was a phone call made to the police, all the way up until those men were indicted, there was a cover-up by the prosecutor, the DA over there, who then flipped it to another DA, who then flipped it to a third DA. They were doing everything they could to prevent justice from happening. 2 years ago, that would have worked. Last year, before George Floyd, that would have worked. Today, it didn't work. And it's because there is progress in that.
But I think that in this particular case, there was a preponderance of the evidence that they couldn't get past. So do I feel like
preponderance in a lot of cases? I mean, come on. Emmett Till, like there was a preponderance. This man,
Emmett Till was 50 years ago. Come on, guys. Emmett Till was 50 years ago, guys.
They had his tongue cut out.
Emmett Till was 50 years ago, guys.
Right?
I seen it.
Let him finish.
At that point in time. So you compared the two. There was more evidence then than there was today.
Now, what were you saying, Knight? What were you saying?
That was 50 years ago.
But again, that's his progress. That's the whole point.
You're right. Then there's progress.
Right. 50 years ago, a preponderance of evidence. Emmett Till's murderers basically walked. And,
no, not a single one of them was convicted of a crime.
Correct. And the preponderance of evidence this time, they were all much less, all found guilty of murder, not manslaughter or anything like that. 3 white men found in a I don't know if that was a predominantly white neighborhood, but found guilty of murdering a black person. That's progress. And again, Knight, we're not
I'm gonna
saying
tell you what the difference.
Let me just finish the sentence. Again, not saying that we've made it, but we're talking about in this instance the justice system work the right way. All right, Nike, what you gonna say?
All right, so just like who was this that said this on Facebook? Let me
work because of the film.
Shice and Brenda both. Well, what Shice said first, it didn't work because of the film. Emmett Till didn't have it on tape.
Regardless, that's evidence. It's evidence.
Not regardless.
It's still evidence, though.
If you see something, Stace, if you see something on video,
but in the legal system is not based on hypotheticals.
That's different than somebody's body being found and then them charging somebody for it.
Terry, but the justice system. But listen to this though. The justice system is not based on hypotheticals. We can't say, well, because they have it only worked because they had video, but that was a part of the proof. So if whatever it took, when you lay that information out there and you come up with a decision based on what you have, a lot of times they had proof and it still didn't work out right. What's up, Shice?
What's up, family? How y'all feeling, guys?
What's up, big bro?
What's good?
What are your thoughts, man?
I just want to jump in. I think I'm in the middle, and I think I'm leaning more to Terry because progress, yes, there has been progress. We can't deny the progress. My thing is, it's not enough. It's way too uneven. This playing field. We all could agree on that, I believe. And that's the difference. I just believe the cover up would have stayed a cover up.
Agreed.
If that tape didn't come out.
Agreed.
So we'd have still been. If it didn't have tape and the family was telling you, or some of the people in that community was telling you what happened, we'd have seen again the injustice against us.
Agreed.
And our people. Yep. So progress, yes, because you're talking about Emmett Till in 2022, 2021. So yes, there's progress, but we'll be back here again in 2022 with a bunch of other cases, unless you got George Floyd, 8 minutes for him with a knee on his neck. It's hard to get around that.
Right.
But we could get around chokeholds. We could get around all these other shootings and people running away and get shot in their back. We keep seeing that. And I don't think that's going to change.
But that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I talk about. Wait, you keep cutting me off.
Go ahead,
that's what I mean when I'm talking about if I think that that is real justice, or if that is justice for all black people. I think it's great that his family got justice. I'm all behind that. I feel good about that. But is that justice for black people in general?
Yeah.
I don't think it is, because
I think it is.
Like I said, if you're happy with incremental crumbs, that's fine. But if we're gonna be equal, if we're gonna have equity, if we're gonna have equal justice, if we're gonna have equal whatever, it has to be equal. Equal means equal. Equal doesn't mean, okay, well, we'll fuck with y'all some of the time, and then we'll give y'all what y'all supposed to have some of the time. No, equal means equal.
Now, to two things. First of all, as I said, institutions change slowly. And I know you saying it in a negative manner, so I'll just repeat it. Change. You accept the crumbs as they take them. You don't say, well, I want change, therefore I don't. If you don't give me the whole loaf of bread, I don't want any. No, you fight for change. Change. Period.
So you saying you should always go?
No. Listen to this. Second thing, I think that there are two separate issues though, and there was one word that Shice brought up, which was cover up. Now listen to this. As Shice said, had those tapes not come out, he would have been. They wouldn't have got the result probably that they got. But do you all know that the DAs and the police people or people that covered up that tape are now being prosecuted? So therefore, I think this is the way that it's supposed to happen, because like you said, the tape leaked out. But the people that were the cause of the cover-up, they need to pay prices also. So if they pay the prices also, that says the message is, if you were part of a cover-up and something like this happened, and whether you did or are a part of the cover-up, you're going to pay the price for it. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way that it happened. And guys, somebody say hi. Go ahead, Shice.
But wait, before Shice goes on, let me get in here, because I want to say first, Shice agrees with us. He said he says he agrees with us, but he leans more towards Terry. But when you actually pose the question, he agrees with us 100%.
Absolutely.
Because the question is there progress?
Correct.
He agrees.
No, that's actually not the question.
What's the question? What's the question?
The actual question is.
Are we closer to justice?
Are we closer to justice?
Shice, did you say we were? Or did you say we weren't?
I was speaking to, because I heard the question the way it was supposed to be. Are we closer to are we making progress? So to that point, I say yes. Are we closer to justice? I want to say this because it kind of leads me into what I was trying to say. Every time I turn around, it's a middle-aged black man getting released from prison because of DNA evidence.
Agreed.
That's not showing me that we're closer to justice, because your life was taken away for 20 years and you're coming home. It's showing me, what it's showing me is the flaw in our justice system, that these black men are kept being targeted, railroaded, and it wasn't until DNA evidence got them free. So are we closer to justice? I don't want to give a knee-jerk reaction to that. So I was just saying, I don't know. I don't know.
It's not enough.
Like after the fact, after you kill somebody, after you cover up, and a tape comes out, and you have to do the right thing.
Well,
right. That's my point.
But it doesn't account to, are we closer to justice and equity? If I turn around and I'm looking at, we disproportionately locked down, locked up, targeted, profiled, and killed by the police.
But Knight, two things though, Shice, to respond to what you just said though. Even with that being said, people now, middle-aged black men being locked up for 40 years is terrible. But you know what though? I'm glad that for whatever it took, I like to see them going back. What is it called? The Innocent Project, going out, representing these people and getting them out is better than them leaving them in there.
So in your opinion, that's cool. In your opinion, that's cool.
I say, let me repeat what I say word for word. It's better that the Innocent Project go and represent these people and get somebody out that was falsely locked up than leaving them in there. Do you disagree with that?
Of course not.
So it's Knight saying leave them in there. Is that what you're saying, Knight? Leave them in there because you're saying
leave them in there. When did I say
so
that?
you agree with me then? So you saying because that's my whole point. It's better than nothing. That's my point. It's better than nothing. I'm not saying we made it. I'm not saying we're at the end, but it's better than leaving them in there.
So better than leaving them in there is closer to justice. Okay.
Right. All right, Shice, listen, why are you on here? We're gonna let you choose the next one. All right, Shice. Wait a minute, were you being sarcastic? Wait, did I miss something?
No, I'm really, like I'm saying, I don't like to do knee-jerk reaction. Okay. I'll probably call you tomorrow because I'll probably beat this up.